So, and then if you look at software development too, the person perform more than average. But to have a complete pass for the FE, you need to perform above average or just at average. Okay, so we can go to the next. Let's look at what successful candidates do differently to pass the exam. Okay. We'll look at 6 main things to do in order to pass the exam. And even though we are talking about FE exam, but this is also applicable to PE exam in many ways. The first of them is the study with the handbook open. The handbook, last week we discussed how to get it downloaded. You create an account, you go into your NCES account, and then you download it. Start navigating through, identifying all the formulas and the things that you need not to memorize. But if you have them in memory, it's okay. So even that is better. If you have the formula or anything in memory, you go to the exam, instead of navigating through the handbook, you can quickly solve the question and go ahead. But the reference handbook is very helpful. The disadvantage is that if you don't remember something and now you want to go through the handbook and spend like 5 minutes looking for that information, then that is where the handbook is against you. But it should be working for you. Okay, number 2 is you need to practice with the computer-based testing conditions. You have timer on the screen. You can see the time ticking down. And then also you have your question and answers. Your questions, and then you answer the question and proceed that way. Okay, register with a realistic runway. So this, like I mentioned, most engineers who are experienced tend to underestimate the difficulty or the challenges with the FE exam. But even though you are experienced, what you may be working on currently, you might have forgotten so many things you did when you were in undergrad. So you need to pick a realistic time. Look at what is difficult for you, and then you'll be able to plan, okay, I need 2 months, or I need 3 months, or even if you need 4 months, that is fine. It's always better to pick a realistic time than to rush into failing the exam. Because we have seen that, and evidence have shown that retaking the exam does not usually guarantee passing the exam, even though the condition stays the same. Number 4 is answer every question without skipping. So this without skipping doesn't mean that you should stay at one question, trying to solve that question by all means before proceeding. So there is no penalty for wrong answer. If you answer a question under mathematics and you get it correct, that correct answer carries the same equal weight as answering a question under electromagnetics. So let's say if you have a question that is holding you up in mathematics, you can skip, but you have to flag it. Flag the question and then continue. Once you are done and you have extra time, you come back and then answer all the questions. So in this case, even if you don't know, try to pick an answer. You know, some people are very good in guessing. They can guess and get the answer correct. You know, it's probability of numbers. So if you have 4 answers, at least you have 25% chance of getting it correct, rather than leaving it blank, which is 0% of getting anything correct. Okay, so the 5th one, we need to build a plan. A plan from the diagnostic report. This applies to those who write the exam and did not pass. So if you have written the exam and you have your diagnostic report, the diagnostic report is just to help you to know, okay, the knowledge areas that you need to improve. So you identify them and then you build your plan around that. And this one, I have always told other mentees a strategy to use. I call it the 101. strategy. So the one stands for identify the difficult areas that you have. Start practicing them. So let's say you have 90 days to write the exam. You start with the difficulty ones first in the first 1 month, and then you proceed to the less difficult ones because you don't want to leave anything on check. So you go to the less difficult, which is a 0. And then getting closer to the exam, you now switch back to the difficulty ones. That is a 1. So 101 strategy really works. And one of the guy I really helped mentor, he passed his FE last month, and he told me that the 101 really helped him. He planned according to that. Okay, the 6th point is testing. You have to test closer to graduation when possible. So this does not apply to everyone. It only applies to candidates who are still in school. And so that is a golden time for you. You have a lot of fresh ideas, new things, less stress from work. Maybe if you are most certainly if you are working, it's different. But I know some people work and still school. That's fine too. But once you are in school, it's gonna help you. Okay, next one. Okay, this handbook, we've already talked about this, so I'll just skip this one. And computer based, I have already talked about this. So this, we need to practice with computer. Okay. In line with the computer practice, you have available resources on my NCES that you can check. And so NCES put out this a report, and this report shows that they're comparing the first time taker with practice, and then also first time taker without practice, repeat taker with practice, and repeat taker without practice. And this is in line with the simulation that they have on their website. So if we look at electrical, let's see electrical, we can see that the first time takers with practice have almost like getting to 70% passing rate. And then without practice, there's always like 60%. Repeat takers, the percentage is higher. We have it here, almost getting to 40%. And then without the practice, it's almost like 30%. Okay, let's do this other interaction again. Can you please scan the QR code and let's see this interaction from you? So the question is, what is the one steady habit you are committing to change after today's session? Okay, to not be easily distracted. Great. Okay, study sufficiently. Okay, I think that's all. Yeah, okay. That's great from you. Yeah, study sufficiently and not be distracted. So distraction is one of the things that actually that can lead to failure. Yeah, and then studying sufficiently is also a path to getting the results. So that's great. Thank you. Okay.